Okay, so for attendance, Tara. So I just want to start. I'll give you the people, but I'm going to, Laura Carson, Chair of the Public Health and Safety Committee, and I call the meeting to order at 8:44 p.m. on May 19th, 2025. For attendance, I'm here, Tara, you're here, Mark's here, Marcy's here, Scott Nickel,
Bob
Elwanger, and absent is Christine Ludwizak and Lori Galdenzi. As far as the minutes are concerned, I didn't have the minutes, and you didn't. I didn't realize.
You just have to approve the minutes from the April meeting, which are online.
So I don't have to worry that I didn't send them out because I was sick.
No, yeah.
So we can ask for a vote to approve.
Everyone should have looked at it.
Okay, everyone. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the April meeting. Scott Nickel made the motion, and I will second. Any discussion on the minutes?
I will never take the minutes again.
Scott said he'll never take the minutes again. Okay. All in favor? Thank you, Marcy, for doing it.
I helped a lot.
Thank you. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone against? Any abstentions? Oh, I have to abstain.
Yeah, unless you listen to this after the fact.
I didn't. I didn't watch the committee, no.
Okay.
I watched the meeting.
Yeah, but you didn't watch it.
No, so I abstained. So Laura abstains. And everyone else.
So how many voted for?
5, it's for you and Mark did.
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
So you did, Mark, Marcy, Scott Nickel, and Bob Elwanger.
Yep.
Can I get a motion to forego the readings for this tonight?
So,
Bob Elwanger, yes. Making the motion, seconded by Scott. Any discussion on that? Okay. Take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Anyone against? Any abstentions? Okay, the motion passes. Okay, we begin with item number 3, which is about the Adaptive Rec Center for the design, approving money for the design costs. Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
I'll make the motion. Mark made the motion. Laura second. Any discussion?
I have one little concern. The seed money is great.
We can't hear you guys.
Uh-oh. Laura? Hello?
Anybody? Bueller?
You're welcome.
Laura?
Sorry. Yeah.
We lost you for a bit.
Yeah, it said it's something. It asked for my PIN.
Press star 9. Is that the recording button?
Yeah.
Yep. See what it's.
This is very frustrating.
Yeah. It should have been done already.
That's why. Okay, we're back. It's something. It's a little funky tonight, but we're back. You didn't miss anything. So now Scott is going to talk about. He has some reservations about the seed money. Continue.
We never seem to get even a near approximate number of meetings. It's always just kind of a guess. And I'm just, it seems like he's got a lot of ability to just go out and do things without a lot of being watched or monitored as far as what we're actually spending money on. So I don't know, maybe we may need to get status updates from him on a regular basis for his projects, like the cart path, the golf range. None of that stuff was told to us. It was even in progress, and it's just.
Okay, so we are approving seed money for the design. Then they would, once that happens, then he has to go out to, they have to come up with the plan, and then they have to go out for bids, and they have to come back to us. So let's see if he but I'm all in favor of doing the design.
Yeah.
So let's just focus on that right now, and then we can hold them accountable a little later. But I understand.
The adaptive athlete, I'm totally in favor of.
I know. I understand your frustration.
There's a lot of leeway given this guy spend whatever he wants.
Right. Anybody else have a comment?
No, good.
You ready to take a vote? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, and that's all of us, so there's no one saying no. So this motion passes. Okay, item number 4. It's the emergency light project at Fairfield Ward High School turf field. They need more money from this capital project to do the light project. Can I get a motion to approve this? Scott Nickel, a second. Laura Carson, second. Any discussion on this?
I'm going to discuss again. I actually, Chris Shea asked the question I was asking about the light pollution. And I'm actually in favor of it being better for our environment.
Right, that's great. That was very nice to hear.
Yeah.
That was great. No light pollution.
Or less.
He said basically none, but who knows? Okay, we'll take it. It's Anthony, so it's with a grain of salt, right? Any
No,
other?
that was Angela.
Oh, that was Angela's. I'm sorry. There's no grain of salt.
Sorry.
Right.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in
Yeah, I
favor,
mean,
say aye.
hold on.
Sorry. I got
Yeah,
you, Mark.
I
I'm
mean,
listening.
I'm glad Josh asked the question because it's very disturbing to me that it took 15 years when somebody had known that these lights were faulty and they should have been replaced a long time ago because, I mean, if they had a field full of kids, somebody could have gotten killed out there. And it's very disturbing to me that they found out 15 years later that these lights were basically no good.
Absolutely. I just don't know where we place the blame because Angela said it came before him, so he had no idea, right? So
Well, I would suggest that they go through every nook and cranny for everything that could possibly go wrong with any of the infrastructure things that we have on fields or wherever they are in schools.
Okay, so
Well, especially if a supplier is defaulted. But if they haven't notified us that they're no longer in business, what do we do? How do we know?
Well, they know. We were notified, from what I understand, outside of what was said tonight, that the BOE was notified about the faulty product. The excuse that the company that installed them went out of business doesn't mean somebody should have stepped up and found another company to replace them 10 years ago or 15 years ago, whatever the year it was, 2010. What other parts of our infrastructure of schools has issues that we're not fixing or getting fixed?
Well, do you think that this particular reason is because this company they went bankrupt, maybe they weren't reputable, maybe that's an anomaly? Do you think they should go through, they can actually go through all these?
I mean, that's less of my concern about the company going bankrupt. I mean, the concern is that I believe the BOE was advised, and nobody, whoever it was at the time, I think maybe it was Tom Cullen, did nothing about it.
Do you want to send
It's a fair question.
Do you want to send an email to Marcy to the appropriate people like DOE?
Well, I mean, this situation's water under the bridge, but I mean, I'm voting in favor of it because it needs to be done. But
right. Yeah, right. I understand your concern. So, is there anything you want to question? Maybe you want to put that in writing to ask.
He's going to tell us.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, as an aside, we can you know, you have a very valid concern. So I would implore you to ask them to. Maybe you're worried about other infrastructure projects.
I mean, I think Representative McDermott brings up a good point that maybe, I don't know if there is some type of checkoff system, right, that they need to go through all of their fields or all of their equipment. I know as a physical therapist in a hospital or nursing home, any type of environment, you know, there's a certain time period where you have to go through an equipment check for safety to make sure that those are, even if it was just a year, like it depends on the piece of equipment or whatever, but I don't know if that's something that
feasible.
The school system should make standard is do they do field checks or do they do equipment checks or school checks or, you know, does each classroom teacher check things in their room when they're wrapping up for the year? Just everything. I don't know. But it brings up a good point with the maintenance, because I don't know that they were actually notified when this company, because they were saying they don't have it in record anywhere. So we don't know that they got notified that this company was recalled, that this recall occurred. We don't know that that's
from what I understand, they were notified.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That was in the backup, Mark?
Conversation with somebody. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Mark, why don't you request that or express your concern?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do maybe something,
Okay.
but I mean, we could move on from here.
Okay, I totally understand what you're saying. You're right. You're totally 100% right. It's terrible. Okay.
I mean, you know, maybe I'll make a comment next week. Maybe I'll abstain tonight.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so ready for a vote? All in favor of this resolution, say aye.
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 Mark?
Abstain.
Mark, you and I? He's abstaining. Okay.
I'm abstaining.
Okay. Okay, so he's an abstention. So you got that, Tara?
I got it. So 5 voted yes, 1 abstention.
Correct.
Okay.
Item number 6, authorizing accepting additional grant funds for the Commerce Drive Bridge Replacement Project. Can I get a motion to approve this resolution? Laura makes the motion. Scott Nichols seconds. Any discussion on this particular item? All good? Ready for a vote?
Well, I just have a quick question, Laura.
Sure. Yeah.
So
go for it.
This is one of the ones that the Board of Finance hasn't voted on?
Correct.
Is this common that happens, where we get something before they vote?
I think that, yes.
We've had it before.
But we've had it before, and it's when it's a little bit timely, where they don't necessarily want to wait until our next meeting, but they know the vote's going to occur before our regular meeting, we put it on before like this. So,
Okay.
You know, they could have added it as what would have happened if I didn't add it to the regular agenda. They would have added it possibly to the supplemental, and then we would have not had the benefit of a committee presentation this week. So,
Got it.
I thought that the committee presentation is valid to have and not to feel rushed with that. And it was a timely. If it's like for instance, the Board of Selectmen passed something last week, and it was like last minute after the agenda was set. If we know they're coming and they're timely, then we can do this and put it on the agenda.
Yeah, no. Okay, makes sense.
Obviously, if the Board of Finance votes it down tomorrow, it'll just be removed from our agenda, and it won't matter if you voted yes or
Right.
not.
Right. So I don't think
Okay.
there's any harm in voting for.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate the explanation.
You got it. Okay. Ready for a vote? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so it passes unanimously. And the rest of the ordinances.
No.
What?
No. You got one more, item 6.
I thought I just.
You did item 5.
We did
Oh,
item
wait, you
5.
know what I did? I did item number 6. I
five.
skipped 5. Sorry, I skipped 5. I went right to 6.
What?
I did the Commerce Drive bridge replacement.
Right.
I didn't do the NIPS. The NIPS funds. I guess I must have had a few NIPS. Item number 5.
Wait a minute.
I didn't do the item number 5.
I thought.
Mm-mm. We didn't do the
Wait,
little
what
booth.
did we just talk about?
The Commerce Drive bridge
We
replacement.
did? No,
Yeah.
we didn't really talk about any of that, did we?
Yeah.
No, we didn't talk about anything. Sarah asked the question.
Just talked about whether it was on the Board of Finance agenda, which both 5 and 6 are. So I thought we were voting. I voted for the NIPS just now.
I didn't talk about the NIPS. I didn't bring up number 5. I just brought up number 6.
Right.
Yeah, sorry. So we can go back to number 5.
Okay.
Do you need to discuss anything, Marcy, about number 6, and then we'll go back to number 5? Do you have anything to say about the Commerce Drive? You're okay? Okay, sorry. We'll go back to number 5, which is,
I think we just need to retake the votes.
okay.
For 5 and 6, because
Well, I didn't do 5. We'll start with number 5 then. Let's go back to number 5, which is a resolution to pay for the litter interception boom system, and it's fully funded using the NIP fund. Can I get a motion to approve item number 5? Scott Nickel, a second. Marcy. Any discussion on this item, which again is subject to Board of Finance approval? Anything? All good? Okay, ready for a vote? All in favor? Say aye.
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 Okay, that motion passes. Back to item number 6, which is the Commerce Drive replacement project, and it's to approve additional grant funds. Can I get a motion to approve this? We'll take a new.
Move.
Bob made a motion, and I will second. Any discussion now back on this, Marcy? You good? Okay. Anybody else? Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, so then the rest of the 3 ordinances we're just considering, they will be voted on next month. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Scott Nickel, and I will second, and can I, you have any discussion on this? Anybody want to stay longer? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes to adjourn at 9:02.